What is up, Retro Maniacs? My name is Mike. His name's Joe. His name's EP, and we're here to talk about cards. Today, we're going to talk about some of our all-time most annoying eBay interactions. If you're on eBay, either as a buyer or a seller, you have these. There's just no way getting around it. You just meet up with some people at times that, let's say they're annoying. Right? So, Joe, get us started.
All right. I'm going to throw in a real quick bonus one here because we're going to go around the horn a few times. But I'm going to throw a real quick bonus one in here because this one technically you shouldn't be doing if you're on eBay, but I was interested in a card on eBay. The person did the whole, well, with fees on eBay, so trying to get the interaction off eBay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always looking to save money. So if they send me their information, I always respond with, whoa, I don't work off eBay ever. And then I'll message them on the side. So we were interacting through email, and they had their cards listed well above comps, but they were willing to negotiate. I had mine listed slightly above comps. They were okay with their comps being wildly high. But then called my comps out for being high. So that's again, it's not technically an eBay interaction, so I'm not gonna count it. But yeah, any fantasy football, card trading, all are the same when it comes to that. People value their stuff way more than the other person's stuff, and it's just annoying. So this happened recently. I actually texted you guys about this. I've been on eBay slightly less than Mike. You started what, 99? I think I started a little bit
1997.
97. So I started 99. That's what it was. And I've been shipping, and I am really known for my ship. I take it seriously, boys.
Yes, you do.
I am so proud of myself when I ship something well, when I find that perfect box. I had someone message me. They had bought a card from me, and they paid for the eBay standard. I offer them a upgrade, bubble mailer if they want, for an additional $3 or $4 or whatever. When I ship on eBay standard, I take the card, put in a sleeve, put in a top loader, put the painter's tape over the top loader, put that top loaded card into a team bag, put it into the eBay standard envelope between two pieces of cardstock. Then I tape the label on and move on. They said, hey, I'm really interested in buying another card from you, but could you not put tape on the top loader? Because I almost broke the top loader trying to get the residue off. Now, I'm sorry, why are you using a top loader that was shipped to you? I always switch top loaders if it's for my PC or I put it in a one touch or whatever. But I said to him, well, you know, if the card slips out, it could get damaged. I don't want to be held liable for that. I said, this keeps it safe. And he goes, well, why don't you put it in a team bag? I go, if you noticed, it wasn't a team bag. He then proceeded to tell me how I should be shipping cards. And then in the same breath said, I just got into cards. Then how the do you know how I should be shipping? Are you kidding me? Like, so someone trying to tell me how I should be shipping. My shipping, by the way, 5.0. Out of the little star rating, 5.0 on shipping. I'm just trying to protect your card. Shut up. Deal with it. He ended up buying the other card. I didn't put tape, and I really hoped it got damaged on the way there. It did not. So there. Gripe ended.
Wow.
I'm sorry you had
that
that experience,
complain about the residue from painter's tape, like, I don't understand it. I don't. I use cheap painter's tape, so it comes off a little more easily, but I don't know. There are a lot of things card collectors complain about that they really don't need to.
If I put packing tape, sure, I get it. It's painter's tape, dude. Just settle down. And it's a cheap top loader. It was one of those ones that someone must have smoked around because it was yellowing, right?
Yeah.
So because I'm shipping it and I'm assuming someone's going to put it into a better situation. I always do anyway. I just want to make sure the card gets there safe. I really don't care about the residue on the top loader, my man.
Well, then you wonder what the rest of the like all the different top loaders. They're probably just this box full of like all these yellow top loaders and trash top loaders, all that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
all right, EP. Tell us your story.
My first one is, and this is an annoyance at eBay sellers, but by way of one of my customers. So I saw a lot of cards at eBay as eBay standard envelope, just like Joe. I saw a lot of them for like $1.50, $1.65, and so I had somebody buy a card for $1.65, one of the 2024 Sport Kings cards, and the person messaged me right after they bought it and said, "Can you please put this in a holder, like plastic holder?" I was like, there must be people out there still in 2024 not putting their cards in top loaders and just shipping them in the envelope. So I mean, because you don't send something like that to somebody right after you buy it if they haven't experienced this before.
Yep.
So I wonder, there's probably a lot of people out there doing free shipping where they're just shipping the card as is, but probably not even in a soft sleeve. And like you, Joe, I don't put the tape over on the top loader myself. I do pull the team bag very tightly, and if I feel like it's going to move, I put some tape over top of that. But like I make sure that it's in a sleeve and a top loader and a team bag, and I wrap a piece of paper around it in the thing. Like I also have stellar. Everybody loves my shipping as well. Half of my comments are about the shipping and stuff like that. So to know that there are still people out there in 2024 that are sending just random raw cards in an envelope, they're just like flopping around in there. It's terrible.
The year of our Lord 2024 is crazy.
Right.
There are a lot of people that do too. I see that a lot. They just put it in a soft sleeve and tape that to like a piece of cardstock and put it in the envelope. Yeah. So
no way.
I know.
Even the cheap ones that I sell, I still want to put it in a top loader, right? Like I think like we're all the same way. Like
I'm even afraid to use like a semi-rigid, which I know are perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But people complain about it. So I use like the cheap, I like the store safe top loaders, but I always put my cards on a brand new top loader and ship them that way. Now I'm not selling $1.59 cards. Usually I don't go under like $3. So, but I'm just so worried that some idiot is going to complain about the holder because I've seen it many times on Twitter. So yeah, I do it that way, not because I feel like it has to be done that way, just because somebody's going to complain if I don't, and you're going to run into that person eventually.
Right. and to those idiots, the whole point is to getting the card there safe. The card.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Well, mine, I hate this. This happened to me a couple times, but I did a pack stack sale not too long ago, and in leading up to it, doing the purchasing of stuff on eBay, I found a seller that had a bunch of packs, and for some reason, eBay, normally I would add those to a cart and then request the total from the seller, but eBay system is screwy and it doesn't always allow you to do that, to put everything in and request a total. I don't know why. So I messaged them asking them, what would the total be? And I don't hear back from them. So like, you're selling like 90s and early 2000s packs. Like, you're not selling a lot of these. Let's be real. You're probably not moving these really fast. They're not super liquid. So if you have somebody who has interest in not only one of your listings, but like, I think it was like 6 or 7 of them, and they're asking you about, okay, I'm not even saying what kind of deal will you give me? I'm asking what would you combine shipping and what would the total be? And you can't make an effort to quickly get back to somebody. Like, why do you have it on eBay then? I don't understand. I guess it falls under why do people not get back to you about stuff? You're selling something. If you have a legitimate question on something you want to buy, just get back to you. Come on. What are you doing here?
This happens so often on both sides of it too. Like sometimes as a seller, I have a question for a buyer. Like I always reach out and say, hey, are you interested in anything else? Would you like to combine shipping? Yada, yada, yada. If they don't respond within a day, I ship it out. It is what it is. But why don't people respond? It comes to you as an email. Like it's not, you don't have to go to eBay to look for it, but it's even worse when you're a seller and you're not like, as soon as that buyer messages me, I am on there. Yeah, absolutely. Hold on a second. Let me see what I can do to make sure you are happy and you buy as much from me as I can sell you. I just don't get it.
And most people also have a smartphone these days, and you're like a notification is going to pop up
Yeah.
on your phone saying this
Mhm.
you got a message from
From
so and so.
eBay, from Gmail, from
Right.
and, whatever email service you use.
Right. So it doesn't make any sense. Like I wonder again, like like I said, we've all been on eBay, selling on eBay for a long time. I remember there was that dark time back in the dark times when people would put part of their sale price in the shipping, and they would include that in the shipping. Like I wonder if this is like kind of situation where like I know what I need to get out of this, and so if I mess with the shipping or this and that, maybe that's part of it where they make a couple extra bucks on the shipping, and that's part of it. I wonder if that's maybe
I'm
that's
sure it
possible.
probably
That's
is,
a good. That's a good idea. Yeah.
All right, your next annoyance, Joe.
So you talked about like, oh, there's no one clamoring for a lot of the stuff that you're trying to buy. So why are you not figuring something out? And in your case, it was with the shipping. So I opened up a couple of boxes of the Death of Superman Doomsday from 1992 Skybox, right? And I found I wanted to complete as many sets as I can because the complete set actually sells for like $20 or so. So, but you can find the individual cards fairly cheap. So I found a listing from a guy who had 6 cards for $2, and he had a list of the cards he had. He didn't have like a drop down menu. I guess he just didn't want to update that, which it can be annoying to update the variation. So he basically just updated his checklist and just as he would sell cards, I guess. Or it was something like message me what cards you need and I'll let you know if I have them. Okay, whatever. I don't care. It's six cards for $2 and like $1.50 shipping. So I'm fine with that. So again, me as a buyer, I always go and see what else that person may or may not have because hey, if I can save on shipping or we can work out a deal for some other stuff, I'm in. I want to buy from the same person. If I need cards for 10 different sets, I want to buy them all from that one person so I don't have to keep looking. They had DC Master Series and I needed like 10 cards or 10 or 12 cards for that. He had them listed for like $1 a piece. You can tell how many he's actually sold. That one he did have a variation listing on. So he sold 2 total cards, right?
Yeah.
So I messaged him. I said, hey, I'm actually looking for some DC Master Series cards as well. I'm not saying the same deal, but is there a bulk deal to be had here similar to the one?
Yeah, that's fair.
Not even the response was no. Like, dude,
Wow.
I sell individual 90s comic book cards. I know they're not moving. If someone came to me and said, hey, I need 40 cards, I'm willing to give you 50 cents a card, even though you have them listed for $1, 99 cents or whatever. If I'm selling them in bulk, that saves me on shipping supplies. It saves me on time. And I'm actually moving cards out. Why would you just flat say no? I responded with, wow, okay. Like I guess send me those cards. Like again, to this point of why are you not trying to sell something that clearly doesn't normally sell? What's the point if someone's willing to buy? Now, if I said, hey, give me one for 20 cents, I get it. That's douchey. But I'm saying, can I buy 10 or 12 of them for like, say, 50 cents a card? Saves me money and it actually gets these out the door for you. And I don't need them in top loaders, man. Just shove them in a team bag and put them in an envelope. I don't care. I mean, so that's just people not being able to work with you, I think. And it ties into the next one that I'm going to do, the last one I'm going to do. But I just don't understand it. Just blows my mind.
Yeah, I think that obviously that you want to move that stuff. You make deals to be able to sell in bulk like that. But I think the bigger issue for that seller is just saying no, like not being polite about it, not being like not that we're professional eBay sellers, but
right.
You want to have that. You like if you want to have customers and you want them to come back and you want them to buy stuff, like be courteous.
For sure.
In general, in life, just be courteous to people.
He went from
go figure, yeah.
He went from a someone who I would have saved as a seller to someone I'll just never interact with again. I could easily, and you have that deal for other cards. I don't understand why a similar deal is not possible for like the 52 Mickey Mantle-esque DC Master Series from 1994. I just don't get it, but I digress.
All right, EP. What's your next one?
Well, you could make this any number of amount of dollars, put a bunch of zeros on the end if you want. This is just an example that I deal with. It seems like a lot. where I list my cards. I have, there's an example is a Bryce Harper card from 2024 Finest, an insert card. I listed for $2.99, so $3. If you want to add zeros to that, whatever your example is for yourself. So I listed for $2.99, which I know is either the lowest comp and or just below the comp. So when I looked it up anyway. And so when somebody comes in and says, I'll give you a buck for it. And I'm the kind of person who, when somebody says, I say, I give them the price that I want. So I'll say, well, I would do $1.99. I do $2, which is $1 off of a $3 card, which feels like a good price. And then they message back with, how about $1.25? And I just like end the conversation, end it right there. Like, oh, nope, we're done. I'm done with this because $1.99 is my price, and that's what I want to do. So just the people who, again, price a lot of my stuff at the lowest comp or below the comp, because I'm trying to sell the low end cards.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to get every last penny out of these cards. And then if you want a deal, I'll give you a deal. But then to just think, oh, I need to just get a little bit more. I just need to get a little more. Like that mentality is of the word annoyance is definitely there. Like that. I was like, of course they did. And then I just say decline and then put my phone down.
Mike, can I tell you your answer? Can I tell EP your response?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's why you don't put or best offer on cards that low.
That's true. Yeah.
that would be Mike's response for that. But yeah.
Not worth it. But I will say, going back to the days of the shop, I have been very consistent with this. If anybody says, I'll give you, the answer is no. Like it is. Like if they're trying to get something for less and they start off with, I'll give you, no, absolutely not. Like that goes through me. I don't know why, but all the way back to the shop days, I'll give you. No.
Right.
You could ask me if I have room or if I would be willing to do. What do you think about it? But if you start with, I'll give you, like it's very dismissive. Like I'll give you, like no.
Like I'm doing you a favor.
No is my
buying
answer.
Something that I want. Right.
Yeah.
I'm doing
like,
that.
It's so bad that if I say I'll give you, I'm saying no to myself here because just instantly it comes out. No.
Fantastic.
Oh, eat it.
I'm writing this down. I'm going to use this later. I'm going to save this one.
Oh, all right. Okay, so a little while back, I made a mistake on eBay. I listed, it wasn't really a mistake as much as I misplaced something. It happens. You sell enough, you eventually have that. But I had a 1992 Topps Gold set, the basketball set, the Series 2 with the Shaq rookie, and it has a Jordan in it.
Oh, I remember this.
I listed this. I had pulled out the Jordan and the Shaq and put them in semi-rigid. They were both pretty nice cards. And after having, like, this was one of the first things I put on eBay, like, back in 2021. I think it was 2 years later. I had somebody that made me an offer, because remember that when I tell the story, made me an offer and I accepted it. I looked for the Shaq card. I found the Michael Jordan card. That was with it. I still, to this day, have not found the Shaq card. I know I didn't sell it. I know I didn't, but I have no idea where I put it. So I had to cancel the sale. I sent the person a message too, because I don't just cancel. I let them know that, I listed this a while ago. I had the Jordan and the Shaq pulled. I have the Jordan. I have no idea where the Shaq is. I promised them I would look for it. If I found it in the next couple of days, I would let them know we could revisit this. And I got this message back from them basically saying that I canceled the sale because I knew I could sell it for more. And I was like, you sent me an offer on something I had for sale for 2 years. I hadn't been able to sell, and you sent me an offer and I took it. Right. Why would I accept your offer if I thought I could sell it for more?
Oh, fantastic.
I was like, no, I was very polite about it because I try to be on eBay. I don't want to be a jerk. But
I love how he says, I try to be on eBay.
To you guys, I'm like, but come on. Why would I accept your offer if I didn't want to sell it for that price? I wanted to get it. Whatever. Just that kind of stuff. No. Just don't be dumb.
It's happened. I know, EP, you've talked about this, I believe, misplacing a card. It does happen. You two have way more than I do, and I have a lot of cards. So I had this happen to me. Similarly, someone had bought a set of soccer cards that I had on eBay for like a year probably. And they came and they bought it. Again, I accepted the offer, and I always recount everything. Like, say it's a 300 card set. I go through 1, 2, 3, make sure I have every card.
That's a very Joe thing right there, man.
Because sometimes this happens. I was missing a card. I didn't know I was missing. Again, it wasn't Shaq or Jordan. It was just some random soccer player that was worth maybe $2. I reached out to the person, said, I'm more than willing to cancel this order. It's a $2 card. I found a comparable. I will refund you $2. And if you want to go and buy this card. And they were very appreciative, because they're like, oh, I've had people send me stuff without cards and not take any, say, oh, you must be lying, the cards were in there. So that's how you should handle that situation as a buyer, not be like, oh man, I totally get it. Hey, let me know. Like, no, dude, you sent the offer, he accepted. Just shut up. Like, I just, terrible.
Yeah, I feel like what makes, I was really hoping, first off, that Mike would that the Shaq card would show up like from the, like Mike would be able to show it, but it's still missing.
Found it.
No idea.
Yep. So, but anyhow, like the
I love how you looked over your shoulder, like maybe it's right
maybe sure. It is with my George Brett rookie card, wherever that is.
I feel like the issue is the way the person handled it. Like you're just like doing your best, and like you said, trying to be courteous, all that sort of stuff. And they're just they handled it like poorly. Like as much
I wanted to sell it.
right. As much as we talk about that, like I guess it can be bad on both ends, buyers and sellers, and like that's just not cool.
Yeah,
just be a decent human.
Joe, let us know.
Last one. First off, this would be one for everyone. This is like a little bonus that I think we can all agree on.
A double bonus.
Leave feedback. Like if you had a good experience as a buyer or a seller, just leave feedback. I hate when people leave. Mike's gonna have one that says, I refuse to leave feedback. I hate people.
No. I have it set up automatically for selling, so everybody gets it for that. But for the buying, I get to it. I just don't always get to it right away.
That's fine, as long as you get to it. But I've had people say, oh, thanks, man, I'm going to leave you positive feedback. And then they don't, which I only notice because I don't sell. I don't have as much feedback as you guys do. So whatever, but it's just like, leave feedback eventually, get to it eventually, get it out there. My last one is tied into my previous one, where I kind of talked about bulk and pricing. Because again, I'm a set builder for my PC, or if I'm trying to sell sets. And non-sports set building is tough because some of the inserts are like one per box, and it's like a 30 card insert set. And it's like, Jesus H, it's like impossible to put these together sometimes. So you have to find someone else who opened up a lot of this stuff, and they aren't building the sets, right? So I found someone, I'm putting together the Rick and Morty seasons 1 and 2 sets. And this person had a lot of those cards. Now, those cards were listed as auctions at like, I'm just going to use an example. They were all listed for like $7.99, all these individual inserts. That's what they started the auction at. Or you could buy it now for like $12. They went through like 3 or 4 cycles of auctions, and they just didn't sell. And, people, you aren't charged if you don't sell it. So they just kept letting them just cycle through and restart. So I reached out to him. I said, hey, I'm interested in quite a few of the cards that you have for auction. Is there some sort of bulk pricing that we could talk about? And they said, oh, yeah, absolutely. So I'm like, oh, okay, good. I appreciate that. So they proceeded to list all the cards that I was interested in. And they said, okay, I could do this amount for those cards. I'm like, boy, that seems kind of high. I mean, and I went through, it was just their auction price. That's not bulk pricing. That is.
Well, it wasn't their buy it now, though.
I could literally buy that for the amount you have listed right times already.
Exactly. And they're like, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe they're saving me on shipping. They're not going to charge me shipping. And then I got a message. Oh, and it'd also be $10 in shipping. I go, wait a minute. That's literally like, so at that point I was like, okay, I have 2 options here. My first option is just walk away, which I'm proud to say I did. I'm like,
good job.
Oh,
Good job. I'm proud of you.
The second option was I was going to be a dick, win all the auctions, and say specifically, I want these all shipped individually. That was what I seriously considered doing, because basically the price that person gave me was the price of the cards if I won every auction. The total for the shipping, guess what that was? The price for the shipping if I had won every auction.
Wow.
So what are we doing here? Like, so yeah, it's just, you don't want to do a bulk deal. I'm fine with that. Just don't say no and be a dick. But you don't want to do a bulk deal. That's fine. But don't like pretend like you're doing a bulk deal and then try and squeeze every dime out of a person. And I still have him on my watch list, man. I love watching him not sell every single time. And that's just, as a buyer, or I'm sorry, as a seller, maybe I'm too accommodating, but I really like to make sure that, especially if something's just been sitting there for a while, like those sets came out years ago. This stuff has been sitting there for a while. What good is it doing in my box? I'm going to give someone 10-20% off to move that stuff at a certain point. You have to realize that. But yeah, for them to like not realize I can add, that's what I think, that's what set me off.
Maybe they're bad at math. Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe they're just not good at it.
Yeah,
If someone comes to shipping, they know that the 10
Oh,
cards,
yeah.
10 cards is $10.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like in that situation where they've listed that many times and that's an older stuff, like you $5. If somebody's going to buy like 10 of them or a large chunk of them, like $5 would be a price that I would think you would agree to, and they would be. I would be happy to get rid of them for that amount of money if I've listed them that many times. Like $5 a piece to sell a bunch of them. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Oh, gotta get my price though. Okay, you keep them. I'm
Yep.
literally the only buyer, but okay, you keep them for as long as you want, pal.
All right, EP.
Joe's gonna be like 7 years old, still watching that watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that.
All right, EP. What's your last one?
Okay, my last one is like kind of adjacent to my previous one, where I'm just talking about buyers that are not they're not doing all the research, or they're not thinking about what they're doing. I had sold a card on June 4th, and this is ahead of time. I was looking up the dates just to make sure, get it right, so to have a pretty good ballpark of everything. So June 4th, I somebody bought this card, I ship it next day shipping. That's what I do. Then there's there's the origin processing here, and then it goes to wherever, and there's no updates 4 weeks, like 2 weeks.
And this was eBay standard?
eBay standard envelope, a card for, I think it was like a $3.99 card, something like that. So eBay standard envelope, and this person messages me. I don't monitor all my every card that I ship out. Like that would just be crazy. I'm not gonna do that.
They don't even say delivered or not, so you couldn't monitor them if you wanted to.
Right. So, but anyhow, so this person messages me and says on the June 20th and says, "Hey, I haven't got this card yet. What can we do?" And then so I checked the tracking, and the tracking showed that on June 19th, literally the day before he messaged me, there was actually an update. It was in Tennessee, which I don't remember exactly where the final destination was, but Tennessee is on the way to that place. I was like, "Hey, man, like it is on its way, but based on this most recent update." And then like 3 days later, it arrived. It was delivered like 3 days later. So, but like there are people out there who, and then this happened to me like a month or two ago, where somebody will say, "I want a refund right now," and they'll put in for the refund, even though the card is very much likely to get there. Like so they can range. Like I've had some that get there in like 3 days, and some that take 2 or 3 weeks to get there. And I'm not sure what happens and everything that goes on. But if you're a buyer, like definitely message the person first, and don't make it out. Don't try to be standoffish. I think a lot of the sellers out there, like the three of us, are going to be understanding, and we're going to say, "Hey, just just give it some time. Like there's been an update. Like let's just do that." And obviously check the tracking before you message somebody, and realize, okay, well, there's movement now, so it's probably it's still in the process of moving. So that was it. Like, again, a minor annoyance, doesn't happen very often to me, but still something like be good buyers as well as good sellers, I guess.
Be understanding too, because a lot of the times you have no idea how long it's going to take to get through the mail with eBay standard envelope. Like it just, because there are very rarely updates, and eBay even tells you when you go to put in that insurance claim, they even say, "Oh, if it's a lost package, give it." They give you a window to give it, because they know for a fact that some of this stuff does get lost in the seat cushions of the postal worker, and they find it, and then it goes along its merry way. So yeah, they're not with a damage card. They're like this when it comes to refunds or insurance claims, but with lost packages, they make you wait a little while.
Right.
All right, my last one. I have an honorable mention, and I just have to bring this up because this was from back in the shop days, and this has stuck with me ever since. I had somebody who, won an auction. They didn't pay for it back then, and the person was a real jerk to me, to be very nice, but their last message to me was FUH, F-U-H, and a Q. And I just wanted to bring that up because the Q has stuck with me for the last like 25 years or more.
Yeah, have you ever used that yourself? Have you ever used that yourself?
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah. I mean, not to send to somebody, but I've said it like that. Yeah, because that has stuck with me. So thanks to
that guy.
Yes.
Right.
For all these years of memories. But my last annoying interaction was, I sold a number of wrap cards that I got graded at PSA, did really well, got PSA 10s on them, and had them listed on eBay. Somebody was interested in buying a number of them. They didn't want any scratches on it, which I totally understand that people that don't want scratch cases. But this person was like, no, I don't just mean like, I don't want anything. I don't want any marks at all. Like, I just can't. I'm like, are these super clean? Like, I don't even the faintest little thing. And I'm like, I just got them back from PSA. They're brand new slabs. Like, I'm not seeing anything, but like that pit of your stomach is, I don't want to send these cards to this person because I know they're going to just have a problem with something that he was that crazy about it. Thankfully, it all worked out because he was happy with the ones he got, super happy. And like I said, I don't, if you don't want to buy a scratch case, I understand that. But like when you're taking it to the level where you're like any tiny little thing and you're worried about, it's like, not that like the person can be that way, it's fine, but it makes it really hard as a seller to want to send it because you're just
100%
anticipating the problem. Thankfully, it didn't happen in this case, but I was really stressed out about sending those.
And it's not just about scratch cases. It's any like kind of like, I don't want to say negative interaction, but like there's sometimes like I'll go back and forth negotiating with someone who wants those soccer cards that I had boxes of. And there are people that were starting with super low ball offers, and we come back and forth, and they were kind of showing me comps, and I'm like, yeah, that's not the right, like, and I'm thinking to myself, shit, if they win this, they're going to make up some, like, you almost don't want them to buy it at that point because you're worried about the end result. And FYI, if it's over the certain threshold where you have to send it for authentication, a slab card, guess what they put them in? They put them in those sleeves that scratch up the slabs.
Really?
So you could have sent a perfect one, and it ends up to this guy all scratched up because PSA uses those god awful perfect fits. Yeah, just never know.
Yeah, you guys know I've talked about this, that I try to keep my eBay as stress free as possible. Like that's why I do have a lot of things set up so I'm not dealing with a lot of stuff, and that immediately is a super red flag. Like you said, Mike, like this person is going to be an absolute problem. I don't even not want to send them those cards. I want to block them so they cannot ever buy anything from my store because I feel like
that's right. That sounds right. That's easy.
They're just gonna be a problem. Like they're probably like this for these cases. There are probably other things where they are like super picky about stuff, and like I don't want to deal with it. Like I don't want to send. I'm not going to send anybody like a completely scuffed up,
exactly,
like slab card. But I think everybody kind of realizes there's chances for tiny, like you get it out of the package. There's sometimes tiny little scratches. Sometimes like there's huge scratches, right? So like it just happens, and you deal with it. And if it's bad enough when you get it, then if you want to get it reslabbed, you can. But I feel like being that would be something that'd be a total.
It's a little too proactive.
Yeah,
right. It's a little too proactive.
All right, guys, that was an annoying time, but a lot of fun.
Comment below.
Yeah, let us know.
Comments. Yep.
Let us know if you've had any any occurrences happen like this, any interactions. I forgot what word I was saying, but
It'd be hilarious
end of the video. Nobody cares.
It would be hilarious if their comments were like, wait a minute, I think you tried to get cards cheap from me, DC Master Series, and that was my number one annoyance. That'd
be
hilarious.
Fantastic.
Thanks for watching.
All right, guys, that was a lot of fun. I'll see you next week. Take care, guys.